Josh Green here for Tungsten Tales. Delighted to be joined by Kevin Painter this morning. How are you doing, Kev?
All good, thanks, Josh.
Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. Look, how's everything going at the moment? Saw your name on that Q School list. Not to be this year, but good to see you still throwing and enjoying the darts.
Yeah, no, look, I didn't go to Q school to get a tour card. Them days are gone for me. But I went so that I could get a bit of practice and then be able to play on the challenge tour and get some more practice. Because for me, that's all it is for me at the minute. Get myself going again. I've had the dartitis for like 16 months. Just got over that. It's not 100% gone. It's about 90, 95%. I still get the odd hesitation and that. But so for me, it's just about spending time on the board now and going to tournaments and things. So yeah, went to Q school just for that. No other intention really.
Well, it is the ultimate practice, isn't it? They're incredibly long days down in Milton Keynes. Did you get out of it what you wanted to get out of it?
Well, I knew I was only going to go for the first 2 days, and there were some tough games there. Obviously, some great players in there trying to get a card, and obviously, you get a lot of young lads in there. You know, they want to be professional dart players, don't they? So, yeah, no, it was okay. As I say, I knew I was only going for a couple of days anyway. So,
Yeah. You say you're coming out the side the other end of that period of dartitis now. That's obviously been a really difficult challenge for yourself, but mentally to actually come out the other side and be seeing those positive signs, how good is that for you?
yeah, as I say, 16 months of absolute misery, and you don't think it's going to end. You know, you hope it is, and doing all the therapy sessions I was doing and stuff like that, and then it finally just went. I had to change my throw slightly into a more rhythm throw,
Okay.
um, and it seemed to work. So now I've just got to build up myself practicing and learning, if you like, again how to play in a different sort of style. So yeah, it's a new challenge for me. So yeah, it's just nice to be able to throw again.
Yeah. Can I ask what you actually did specifically? Because lots of people go through dartitis, but there's no cure. There's so many different ways that people approach it. What works for you?
Well, I've done therapy, and it's nothing to do with actually dartitis, as in, you know, that's dartitis. It's all about anxiety and not sleeping properly. If you can get a good night's sleep every night,
Mm.
then you're emptying the bucket of what they call the bucket of trash from that day, and so on, or from previous months. And I weren't sleeping properly, and you get anxious, and it's an anxiety and a nervous thing in the end. It's nothing to do with darts. You know, if I weren't a dart player, it may have manifested itself in a different way. You know, might have had panic attacks. But if you talk to the therapist, it's nothing to do with
Mm.
actually being able to throw a dart. That's just the symptom of the anxiety and the stress.
Was it the first time you'd ever suffered from it?
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, it's a bit weird because obviously I played at the top of the game for however many years, 20 odd years, and, played in some proper pressure moments. It's probably the stress and anxiety side of it probably came as I've come off the tour and I'm not playing as well as I used to, and you still think that you can, and that probably just built up too much, and then in the end, bang, it just suddenly came on.
oh yeah, good to hear that you're coming out the other side of it. Saw you at the World Final. Believe you were on Radio 5 Live with a good friend James Gregg. You were doing a bit of commentary on the World Final, stepping into those shoes, a little bit of a different side of the game for you.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. First got given the chance of that when the seniors was on, and I'd done a bit of commentary alongside a couple of the lads. So yeah, I quite like that sort of thing. I don't know if I'd get into it full time sort of thing, but the bit that I'd done down at Ali Pally with the guys there, that's the sort of thing I like. Just step in and do a thing for a few hours and all that. Yeah, good.
Do you see the game differently when you're watching from a commentary booth or you're watching on a screen to what it's like being out there in the arena?
Yeah, I mean, it's in a weird way. You sort of take more notice of what's going on when you're commentating on it. When you're playing, you're just throwing, and you don't really think too much about what's going on. So yeah, it's different, and of course you've got to concentrate on the what you're looking at and speaking about. So yeah,
We'll soon be in the midst of the Premier League, one of the biggest tournaments and well, the biggest money tournament certainly outside the World Championship. You've had the experience of that in 2012. What was your experience of the Premier League like back then?
that's fantastic. Loved every minute of it. It's just totally different. It, you don't expect or you don't know what to expect if you go into it for your first time. And that is exciting for me. Playing in front of massive crowds and yeah, great. Yeah, I just enjoyed every minute of it.
They were big crowds back then, but they're probably even bigger crowds now. You look 17 weeks of sort of filled arenas, 10,000 plus people at a lot of them. How different is the Premier League to any other tournament on the calendar?
Well, you want to do well in it. Obviously, when you're picked for the Premier League, you're classed as one of the elite. So you want to do yourself justice. And as you say, massive crowds, they want to see you play well. And yeah, there's a lot of pressure for you to perform. So yeah, it's different from playing. Look, when you're playing in other TV events, you're still under pressure and you still want to do well as well. But the Premier League, other than the World Championship, is probably the most pressure you're going to be under.
We've got a couple of debutants this time around in Josh Rock and Gian Veen, someone who's been there and stepped on that stage as a Premier League debutant. What sort of advice would you be giving to those guys that are going on that stage?
I don't know about advice. I mean, as I say, I think they're really good players. Them two lads.
Yeah.
I could see a big future for well, both of them really. And Van Veen's playing absolutely fantastic. I think they'll do well in it, both of them. They're just, it's easy to say go and enjoy it. You know, they say go and enjoy this. Go, you don't enjoy it if you're up there and it don't go well and you get beat. That's you can't enjoy that. But the whole 3 or 4 months while it's on, you can enjoy that. So they'll have a great time.
Gian obviously had that disappointment of not winning the world final. He played tremendously well throughout the whole tournament. Are you expecting him to now kick on this year and get more majors under the belt, add to that European Championship from last year?
Yeah, I do. I do expect him to just keep getting better and better. He's got the whole package. He's got the temperament. He's a clever lad, and he keeps himself to himself, sort of thing, and no sort of lariness on the stage, if you like. So, yeah, I think he'll do well, and I can see him winning plenty of TV events.
There's always conversation about sort of the names that weren't in the lineup or aren't in the lineup. Nathan Aspinall would be one of them. Danny Noppert, who was I think a four-time semi-finalist on TV last year. Can they count themselves pretty unlucky to not be in the Premier League lineup?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult, when you got so many great players and you can only pick eight. Someone's going to get disappointed. Both of them lads could probably say they should have been in, um, and maybe one or two of the lads that are in it, will maybe not publicly but secretly say to themselves, "Well, I sort of got away with that one, and I'm going to make the most of it." But yeah, I mean, Nathan's been in it several times anyway. He'll just class that as I'm having a break, and he'll probably get himself back in it next year if he has a good year. And Danny's just got to carry on doing what he's doing. Really, he will get a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wondering what you think of the current format as well. It was different when you were playing. It was just to complete a league phase. You get your points. You try and make the top four. Try and avoid relegation. Whereas now it's a sort of a mini tournament each week. What do you make of the format?
Well, I mean, it's okay now. It was getting a bit boring, weren't it? But now it, it keeps you going right to the end, if you like. There's always something to fight for every week. If you're cut adrift in a league basis, you're like, oh well, I'm second from bottom, or I'm bottom, and your mentality's different. But Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. People go, oh, it should be this and it should be that. It's probably hard to find the actual perfect format for it.
Mm.
But at the minute, I think it works. For the moment, I think it works okay.
And if you were to make a prediction, and I think I am going to force you to make a prediction, who would you be picking as your Premier League winner before a darts throwing?
Well, I mean, obviously, Littler's going to be the favourite. I think it could be between him and Van Veen.
Mm.
Um, if Gian takes to it, things can go wrong. We've seen players go up there before and been on great form, and then they play in the Premier League and it goes wrong. But I expect it to be between them two. And of course, there's so many great players in it. All of them are going to fancy their chances.
Right, brilliant, Kev. Really appreciate your insight today. Great chatting and catching up, and hopefully we'll catch up during the Premier League season and see how those predictions are getting on.
Yeah, of course, mate. Thanks, Josh.